Julia Spencer is a real estate investor with over 25 years' experience who owns multiple investment properties. She's a single mother of two who moved to the U.S. in 1993 with only $20 in her pocket. She currently holds an MBA. Julia Spencer is neither a realtor nor an attorney, and the contents of this recording are only her opinions. Get her free guide to investing at juliamspencer.com. I'm your host, Dr. Steve G. Jones, multimillionaire and hypnotherapist. My website is stevegjones.com. Essential Landlord Guide. Module 14, Management Agreements and Laws.
Hi, this is Julia M. Spencer, real estate advisor, investor, and enthusiast. And with this last module for this particular landlord product that I'm recording, I want to talk about two brief things that kind of didn't fit anywhere else, but I wanted to discuss briefly so you know what to expect. And they're very typical and very straightforward, but I still wanted to mention them. One would be the property management agreement. That would be the contract that you, as the owner of the property, have with the property manager that you hire to take care of your property. And hopefully you have a contract like that. Don't go into any agreements with anybody that wants to manage your property without a contract. Again, this is a legal contract, legal binding contract that spells out the obligations that you have as the owner, and that spells out the obligations of the property manager and what the property manager basically is supposed to do for you as they're managing your property. That's one thing I wanted to talk about with this module, but there's also another thing, and I want to briefly touch on some of the more common laws between landlords and tenants that are in force and in fact that you kind of need to be aware about. Of course, you can go online and research all this. This is public knowledge, but I just wanted to briefly touch it. That way, if you're listening to this product on your iPhone, your iPod, or listening device, you can just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And then later on, if you have more questions, you can, of course, always go to my website. It's www.juliamspencer.com. And just type your questions and send me an email, and I'll be glad to answer them in future modules, in videos, or even personally to your email if the question warrants it. So let's go into the first thing, which is basically talking about this management agreement that you have with the property manager. So there are essentially 6 sections in this particular management agreement. And again, as I mentioned, you want to make sure you have in writing what you're supposed to be doing as the landlord or the owner of the property, and what the property manager is supposed to do for you and what you're basically hiring them to do. And I wanted to briefly say that the one I'm discussing here is basically the tenant placement management agreement. There's a different kind of management agreement where it includes not just the placement, but also the ongoing property management. Essentially, they're the same, except for some of the responsibilities that the property manager continues to have after the tenant is placed into your property, which is basically taking care of the maintenance calls, taking care of any kind of communication between you and the tenant, basically be the go-between person. And of course, they also collect about.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.